Everyone has their thing, that hobby or activity that gets them up in the morning, that they dream about, that they live for. For some it's golf, others may be running, travel, biking, cooking, curling. But for a lot of us in this room right now, it's fishing. But what is it about fishing that's so captivating? Quite possibly, it's the early mornings watching the sunrise over your favorite lake while you sip a hot cup of coffee. Or maybe it's spending time with family and friends and the memories made while in the boat together. Maybe it's the planning, gear, preparation, the anticipation. Maybe it's the people you meet along the way as you chase your passion. But it's my own personal hypothesis that maybe it's in fact the unknown. You never know what the day will bring. The true mystery. And that in itself is symbolic to life, where you never know what tomorrow will bring. It could bring life, it could bring death, sadness, or happiness. But one thing is for certain, and that is tomorrow is never guaranteed. The greatest part about fishing is that your dream can come true at any second. We live in a place where, if you put yourself out there on these magical bodies of water, such as Lake Superior, at any moment of any day, it can happen. That fish that lives in your dreams, that you constantly think about, that you have spent 30 years chasing, can come by at any time. And when it does, when it all comes together, it will leave you breathless. Cancer doesn't have mercy, and it comes without warning. It isn't fair, it doesn't reason, and it surely doesn't have a time schedule. The film you're about to watch is a story about fishing and about life and about death. The fish here are a common ground for different stories and different lives from three people, all impacted by cancer. They all have a common theme, however, and that is to enjoy each day as it's your last, because it surely could be. Secondly, don't sweat the small stuff, because it really, really doesn't matter. And lastly, take the trip, experience it now, run the marathon while you can, because you may not be able to tomorrow. Things happen in life that seem to not make sense, but if you open up, take a step back, you realize everything happens for a reason. You just have to believe.
Hi, my name's Tim Lund. I'm 44 years old. I grew up in Elk River, Minnesota. And now I reside in Duluth, Minnesota.
My name is Brian Thorpe, 47 years old. I grew up in Woodbury, Minnesota, and I currently live in Cloquet, Minnesota.
Hi, my name is Grant Sorensen. I'm from Duluth here, and fishing combined with helping others, giving back, and storytelling is a huge passion of mine.
When I first found out I had cancer, I had this giant, almost egg on my neck. And I thought maybe it was a pulled muscle, but it wasn't going away. So I was like, I could probably use a yearly physical. So I went in and got my yearly physical right before Thanksgiving of 2012. And right after that, when the appointment was almost done, I was like, hey, by the way, what do you think about this? And they're like, oh, we should take a look at that. And then somebody else came in the room and they're like, oh, we want to get you a scan. So they sent me up to get an x-ray. And so I got an x-ray, and the next day I got a call and said, we want to take a biopsy. And then the next Monday I was getting a biopsy, and I woke up and they told me I had cancer.
I was first introduced to Catch Your Moment Foundation on an episode that Grant did for Superior Angling in 2019. It featured Timon on Pike Lake, and they were doing a little episode on what Catch Your Moment Foundation is and what they do. And coincidentally, later in 2019, I received my first diagnosis of cancer.
I remember the day vividly. You know, up until this point, I had never really been super impacted by cancer. You know, aside from my grandmother passing away from ovarian cancer about 5 years before. But I remember it like it was yesterday. Last spring, I got a message from my sister that Dad was in the hospital, and they did a routine scan and found a mass.
I've got 4 kids. I've got 3 boys and a girl, Gavin, Ian, Clay, and Riley. I've got a new wife as of this last year, Jen, and her 2 kids. I now I'm happy to call my own. That is Mackenzie and Jackson. And we all kind of share this one big crazy life together. My passion for fishing began at a young age. As early as I can remember, my dad had me in a boat, fishing with my dad, my grandpa, and just remember enjoying that time on the water with him. And you know, my brother, you know, him and I grew up in the boat with my dad and shared many days on the water and all sorts of fish, from sunfish and crappies, walleyes, to salmon and trout on Lake Michigan growing up. So it's just become a part of my life, a part of what we do. And I really continue that today with my kids and Jen and her kids as well. It's become just a part of our life to go out on the boat, enjoy time on the water, enjoy the outdoors, and with a little bit of luck, catch some fish. My diagnosis was testicular cancer, and that year my oncologist and specialists opted to do surgery to remove the cancer, and everything went great in 2019, and I experienced, you know, a number of years in remission, and was getting closer and closer to that time where, you know, you look forward to that 5-year mark where they kind of consider you, you know, cancer-free at that point. And in 2023, in the spring, in May, I received information that the cancer had come back. So immediately they said, we'd like you to go to the Mayo Clinic and really get this further looked at. So at this point in time, you know, it was deemed 2A because it was testicular cancer that had come back. And it was another news flash that changes your world. And I was getting to that point where I was excited because I was approaching that 5-year mark where you know, you can kind of look at it in the rearview mirror, and here it was again.
It was Hodgkin's lymphoma, and that was very normal cancer to have at my age, and everything was going to be okay, which I don't know if I would have told myself that back then, but the feeling of diagnosed with cancer was one of the most, felt like somebody just put this giant bag of weights on you, and it just felt like the weight of the world was on me.
They did a routine scan and found a mass on his brain, and you know, your whole world kind of stops in that. You read that, and it's, I mean, you read it again 2, 3, 4 times. It's like, what did I just read, right? Like, this happened to this can't be true, this can't be real, it's gonna be, they entered it on the wrong person's health record. It can't be my dad, the one who, is supposed to be strong, he's your protector, your leader, and, you read the doctor's note and, it's stage 4 brain cancer with the prognosis that 2 or 3 months to live, right? I mean, it totally flips your world upside down, and it hits home. I mean, it really does. It instantly changes your perspective on life. It makes you not care about anything else going on in the world aside from your immediate family and the health of your family, right? I mean, nothing else matters. Nothing, and even to this day, right? Nothing else matters, and that's something that cancer teaches you is, whether it's you or a very close loved one, is that, none of the day-to-day crap, if you will, that so many people get caught up in is matters. It doesn't matter, right? Like, you have a bad day at work, like, who cares, right? Little things, like, who cares? None of that really matters at all, and that's really what this finding out this news about Dad, taught me instantly, is that nothing matters. Life is short. It can be gone in an instant.
So this summer in June, Jen and I took our first trip down to the Mayo, and at this point in time, we really weren't sure what it was, what type of cancer, what was really going on. So when I went to the Mayo, they had informed us that the cancer was back. It was testicular cancer. It was 2A, so it had just spread to a different part of my body. And that news is really, it rocks your world. So I posted on Facebook. There was several people that kind of knew what was going on. Just an update that I got the news that cancer was back, and through that, just a few hours later, Grant had reached out to me about doing a catcher moment with him and Timon, and taking a trip.
I told Jen that if I get a nice one, we're gonna get a replica done.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, something unique, something with characteristics. Doesn't have to be a monster, but something big.
I think we're gonna get it today.
It really kind of changes your focus a little bit, or changes your mood to get that kind of call. Not only from somebody that wants to do something incredible for you, but just a friend that reaches out and says, hey, I'm here, what can we do for you? And that was really what Grant did this past summer. And I remember turning to Jen and just saying, hey, Grant just texted me and wants to take me on a fishing trip with Timon. And it really was one of those neat moments in this chaotic storm that we were going through.
And it's gonna go right above the dining room table.
That sounds awesome.
Think about that.
Yeah, that's awkward.
I'm an interior decorator on the side, so.
Fast forward to August of 2023, and through a couple different conversations that I had with Grant while I was down at the Mayo, he really opened up just, where do you want to go? And I said, well, I really enjoy those videos that you guys do on the open waters of Lake Superior, and get out there and jig for some of those big trout. And he goes, we can make that happen.
Grant says we must be here.
Let's do it. Hand them back to you, Timon.
Yep.
I remember pulling into the spot, and it is lake as far as you can see. And I grabbed the first St. Croix rod out of the holder, and we dropped down that tube jig, and it wasn't more than 5 seconds.
First drop, looking to see what we can get into here. So first time out here, getting excited about what's gonna happen.
There we go.
Got one.
That took a couple seconds. Fish on.
And that first thump came at the bottom of that line, and I remember looking at Grant and just telling him, you know, like, hey, I always thought that, you know, you guys saying, hey, you know, we just dropped our line down and we just caught this fish. We haven't been here more than 2 minutes or 2 seconds. I thought you guys made that stuff up, and here I was experiencing just that. The first drop, seconds into a trip out on Lake Superior, and we got fish on.
Yeah.
That didn't take long at all.
This is awesome.
Oh, look at that one. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Well, it usually doesn't happen like that for me, so this is something new.
This is awesome.
Yeah, first drop. I mean, I didn't even give it but one shake, one pump. That was it.
Oh, I love it. This is so awesome. Yeah.
This St. Croix is just doubled over, man. This is awesome.
Oh my goodness.
Just digging on me, digging. You know, my biggest lake trout is 10 pounds, so this certainly looks bigger than that. Right here, right here. Oh, nice fish, nice fish.
Oh, yeah, pig! Yeah! What a way to
That
start
is
this
awesome.
trip, Brian! Whoa, look at that thing!
Look at this
Oh
thing.
my goodness! Wow, look at that!
What a fish. What an absolute beauty.
What a start to the
Starting
day.
the day like that is just, what a dream.
Wow, Brian.
Beautiful colors, beautiful fish. Just out here in one of the most beautiful places around. It's awesome. Just awesome.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
Let's get this gorgeous one back, huh?
Absolutely. Look at her wave goodbye.
Oh, that's great. That's so great.
Oh my God.
Love it.
What a way to start it off. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Oh man. Oh, it's so awesome.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, this is so awesome. It's a good way to start the summer.
It is. It is. It's a great way to start.
Do the stuff. I started treatment right away after I was diagnosed and did the normal cancer treatment routines, which didn't work. And eventually it was too toxic for my lungs, so they had to do a secondary treatment in hopes of getting me a bone marrow transplant. It got me to that bone marrow transplant. I relapsed right away and started another treatment. It was all experimental at the time. And that treatment led to the next year I did another bone marrow transplant, which also relapsed right away. And that's when I started radiation. And then they started salvage treatments and trying to get me connected with some type of clinical trials. In that fall of 2014, the chemo was too toxic for me to even sit up anymore. So I spent a couple months laying on only my left side, either watching TV, sleeping on medications for painkillers, or in my bed. And a week before Christmas, they said I was approved to get this new treatment called Keytruda, which wasn't available yet for somebody with my cancer. And the next Monday on Christmas Eve, I sat up for the first time without pain. And right before then is when my buddy Dan was diagnosed with cancer. So it was a really tough time for me because my biggest cheerleader was now dealing with it himself, which is just, life isn't fair sometimes. And throughout the next 6 weeks, I only did a few treatments, but I kept getting better and better, and they eventually stopped treatment because of the toxicity in my lungs from that. And I haven't done a treatment of it since. A couple of months after that is when Dan Duty passed from colon cancer. And right after that is when I wanted to start something to honor him. Sorry. And it took me a long time to go from idea stage to making it happen, but it did happen, and here we are, and we're doing trips for people with cancer, and it's been a few years now, and I can't say anything except for it's been just wonderful. Every trip has been fantastic, and it's some of the most rewarding things I've ever done in my life.
Go.
Oh, look at that.
This is probably a bigger fish. 2 fish in a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes. You can't make it up. Look at this thing. Well, I came for my biggest lake trout, and we got that in the first 2 fish. Just look at this rod. Look at this St. Croix. Just this one wants bottom.
Look at that fish.
Ooh.
Daddy. Big.
Oh, mama.
Mom. Holy
Oh my
jeez.
gosh, you
Pull
guys.
it slowly. Pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it.
Would you look at that? Would you look at that?
Whoa!
Oh! Put her there.
I don't have any words right now. The fins on this fish. It's a monster.
Guys, look at this. Look at that. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Damn it.
This is a real day.
There's like,
This is a real thing.
Like, am I dreaming? Pinch me right here.
Is this for real? Is this really happening?
It is. I think it is. It feels like it's happening.
Oh my gosh. Best
You
thing
guys,
to do is catch another one, right?
there's nobody
I know,
nobody
this
out
is-
here.
I'm watching that thing swim
I
down
think-
and the fish is just fine. That's great. That
I
was
mean,
a cool fish.
It's one big fish after another.
I know.
That one you caught had unbelievable colors. Every one of these is just
Tanks.
just beautiful. Tanks, shoulders on them, fins. These fish are incredible. And what an incredible place. And we live within driving distance of it, you know? I mean, that's,
I know.
You can't make it up. It's awesome.
So Dad was given 2 to 3 months to live. This would have been May. And, you know, it changes your world. You don't want to go far. You keep your loved ones close. You know, try to see him as much as you can while balancing your own family and, you know, your own matters. But you know, it just puts into perspective how important family is. And at the end of the day, like, that's what's the most important, and really nothing else matters. I remember to deal with the stress of Dad's diagnosis and kind of his time limit on life. I started running a little bit, and one morning it was still dark out, probably in June or July, so pretty early in the morning. And I was at the end of Park Point. It was like maybe mile like 17 or 18, right? Whenever I run after mile 15, like your vision just gets narrow, right? And you just kind of look straight down and just deal with the pain and agony, but after you've run a long ways, you lose your peripheral vision kind of, and you're just kind of focused on what's right beneath your own body, right? You're beneath your own feet. And out of the corner of my eye, I saw another person kind of right next to me, right? I'm like straight down, it's dark out. I see a person's leg right there, and on the back of his leg is like a stopwatch. I don't even know, to this day, I don't even know if I was just seeing things or if it was actually what I thought it was, a tattoo on the back of someone's leg. But I remember it vividly. There was a person that was very, very close to me in their leg, and on the back of their leg was a stopwatch. And at the time, you think like, okay, it's a stopwatch. I need to run faster, right? I'm going slow, but after you take a step back and think about it, it's like that's the stopwatch of life. And it's gone all too soon. So, you see it every day with people who have cancer, right? It's like 20, 30, 40 years old is nothing anymore to have cancer. So it just teaches you to live each day like it's your last, and don't sweat the small stuff, and hold family tight, hold family close, experience things. That's another biggest thing, right? It's just get out and experience things, do things while you can, right? Run that marathon while you can, or go on that fishing or hunting trip while you can, because you may not be able to tomorrow.
I was trying not to fish, but it's just, Brian was okay with me catching one or two here and there. He doesn't want to move at the moment. I think he was swimming towards the boat for a little bit.
Was he?
Now he's not. The size of these fish is just
shoulders.
Ridiculous.
Every one of them.
You can't even explain it. This drag is locked down pretty good. I think I just saw some green.
Look at that. Oh. You ready?
Yeah, I'll get them your way. Holy jeez. Oh, yeah! Oh, look at that fish.
Oh,
whoa!
Man. Oh, look at the head on that thing.
It's an old fish. Look at the size of this thing. Look at this. Look at how thick that thing is.
Oh my gosh. Timid?
Yeah.
What do you got there?
This is like
look at that.
Big fish.
Oh, look at the size of the fin.
Oh my God. Look at the size of this fish. Holy crap. Oh, hasn't this just been insane?
Incredible. Breathtaking.
Oh, I'm gonna put it in here for a second. It's the old jig and wrap cheat code.
Doubled up.
Just crazy. There he goes.
Where this one's going. Wait, did I catch you? Are you in my dream? You
How
might be
did
in
we
my
get in
dream.
this? How did we get in the same dream?
I don't know.
Well, look at this. That's you.
Is that me?
Yeah, that's your fish. And it's attached to my fish. We got, which way we gotta
go?
go?
The wrong way? Or one
Yeah,
more?
here, let me.
Watching Brian and Tim at the, from the front, from my perspective in the front of the boat, I'm holding the camera, and I don't even know how I held the camera steady because I was laughing so hard. Just seeing these two at the back of the boat, trying to untangle their lines. They're both battling just incredible lake trout. To this day, I still don't know how they got these fish in. It was pretty comical to say the least, but I'm sure glad that Tim got his in because that was an incredible fish.
We got it. This is the right way
Did you
now.
get that one?
Here, hold on. Let's see if it's getting worse or better. 3, it's either getting better or worse. We're gonna either, is that getting worse?
I don't know.
Can't grab him.
I got you.
Oh, it's a beast. There's no way that this fish is still on.
Well, here's one.
Here he is.
Now I think I'm gonna help Tim in now.
There's no way that thing stayed pinned.
Holy cow.
Here, I'll grab him.
You got him?
That's a big fish. Holy crap. Here you go, Rapala. You want a fish for your, look at this.
Look at that fish.
Look at this thing. Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
Look at those fins.
Oh boy.
Oh, holy cow, look at those. Isn't that one of the most beautiful fish you've ever seen? Wow. Look at the colors.
Incredible. What a fish, Tim.
Shaking.
I bet.
Oh. Mwah.
Look at the colors on him. Look
Look
at the
at
green
this.
on the head.
Look at the green. This is beautiful fish.
The idea that you're going to have 18 to 20 treatments of radiation and what that involves and the amount of time that you're going to be spending in Rochester really does change the game plan for the year. It's one of those things that you don't plan for and is really hard to plan for. You put life on hold. Jen and I both had to find the time and the energy to figure out our game plan, let alone the game plan at the Mayo. And, that all involved, when are we heading down? What do we need to do to stay places? What are we cooking that week? The things that you don't typically think about when you're dealing with, things in your own home. It really changes the aspect of life, your routine, your day-to-day, in really the big wrench that it throws into it.
When we first got the 501c3, I had some type of virus that they said that if I didn't treat this virus with chemotherapy, that I could get lymphoma again. So I, of course, did that. It's the only treatment I've actually done in Duluth. And my buddy Greg, who helped me start the foundation at the time, took me fishing right after, same day, of course, because I just started this foundation. And technically, I guess the first Catch Your Moment trip, I was the recipient of it, really. And we actually did great fishing. Some of the best fishing, I don't know, everything just falls into place. Whether you believe in a higher power or not, everything always falls into place for these trips. Most of the time, people have the best day of fishing of their entire lives, even if they fish a lot. There's something that I can't even put into words that happens. It's just pure magic. And something that anybody could experience, I think.
I think the most rewarding part for me in all of this and doing these Catch Your Moment trips is just providing people with an experience that I can say 100% they're gonna remember the rest of their life, right? It's stuff that you can't just go and do every day, right? It's seeing fish that you don't see very often. It's being blessed with good weather, good equipment, the ability to take people out and see the smile on their face, see the tears in their eyes, the joy in their soul, and you know that those memories are going to live on forever, right? I mean, that's so cool. That's by far the most rewarding part to me is no matter what their story is, right? It's just seeing that joy that it's not just on their face, it's in their soul. You can see that. You can feel it. And that's by far the most rewarding part of doing trips like these. you know, you have an open book, you know, write your story, you know, make those memories. You know, surely, you know, cancer patients that we take out are gonna remember it for the rest of their life, but I do too. I remember every single fish. I don't remember what I ate for lunch yesterday, but I remember pretty much every single fish. Yeah, it's pretty special.
What kind of subspecies of lake trout was that one that Tim and
That
just got?
was. You're hooked up again.
Hooked up again, which we can't seem to shake them off. Even catching them on jigging
This is what
rods.
I call dropping reel, and I'm pretty glad you guys are here and able to experience this, because certainly one of my favorite areas on the whole lake, and it's just, you know, it's just so joyful in my heart to be able to bring you guys here and just experience this, because it's nothing can compare. Like, I mean, you just remember this day for the rest of your life, right?
It's incredible.
And
we appreciate you bringing us here too, because
it's wild, man. I'm so glad we got the day to do it, right? A little rain this morning, but the clouds are kind of parting right now and the sun's poking out. But, you know, that fish that Tim just caught is, you know, I would consider that a butterfly, right? This huge front pec fins. They just go on forever, right? And just vibrant and just massive. And, you know, the fish, I mean, that's a very, very big butterfly. The normal butterflies we get out here are a little bit smaller in size, you know, on average 2 to 6 pounds, but that one was, you know, 15 to, you know, maybe even more than that. So
yeah, that was a good fish.
Very, very rare fish, extremely special fish. You know, it's really cool to see that. And we're just continue to be blessed with gift after gift here from the heavens above, man.
Yeah.
I mean, what a day, right? I mean, it's
been awesome.
Jeepers,
Look at the head on that.
I mean, it's just,
Come on, atta girl.
it's just one after another. They are pretty willing to eat. That's a long one, hey? That's a really long fish.
That's probably the longer one.
That's a 37, 38 inch, you know, 37 in length.
Look at the mouth.
I know, that's such a cool fish, man. The teeth are out.
Yeah.
Such a cool fish.
Beautiful.
Lamprey mark right there.
Yeah. Another
Very
one there.
long, just
And the green that comes out of there.
oh, isn't it gorgeous? Yeah, there's nothing really like it, man. There's really nothing like it. I mean, it's just.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
I love it, of course, buddy.
Yeah,
Of course.
This is just great.
What a day we're having.
Yeah.
Send that one on its way.
Let's do it.
That's a big fish.
Thank you, girl.
So we're winding down day one of this fantastic trip, and we had really only allocated a couple days to kind of explore as much as we could. And I remember the three of us sitting down and having lunch out in the middle of Lake Superior, you know, and we're 50, 60 lake trout into this trip already. Arms are getting tired. Just kind of in awe of the day, and we sat and really shared a moment with each other that we sat and reflected, talked a little bit about the day, and Grant had something else up his sleeve, little be known to Timon and I. So day two, we turned the truck north and we headed to Lake Nipigon.
Initially, Grant dropped the boat in, and I was in the boat with Brian, and Grant said, just drop that jig and rep down, you'll catch a walleye first drop. Of course I did. And they're everywhere. And pick up Grant, and the sun was just starting to come up almost to the horizon. And as we're going through this river, it was just an amazing, amazing river run, which made the lake even better that we had to run this river. Luckily, he had mapped this prior, because there's no maps of it. The experience of just going through that, no cabins, no houses. There was absolutely nothing except for us and the lake out there. And going across the lake, the colors were just popping. And every island we went and turned around the corner was even more beautiful than the previous one. We get onto the main lake, and the cliff sides were just amazing. It was just, the experience was something it's really hard to put into words. Cancer has taught me to live for today and not tomorrow. to make plans but not dwell on plans in the future, and to get out the value of time more than money. Time is my most valuable resource. And I think people that have gone through something traumatic like cancer realize that more than others, and wish that others would listen. I think we live with a lot of people that think they have an infinite amount of time, and the next thing you know, you're 44 years old instead of 34. And
the beginning of the second week of treatment, we kind of knew what to expect, but you tend to kind of look ahead to it as, man, we're a long ways from the finish line with this. And it really starts to kind of wear on you. You know, we were tired from the traveling back and forth, tired from early mornings and late nights, and you kind of get these schedules that are a little bit out there. You know, one night I didn't get in for a radiation treatment until 11 o'clock p.m., and then the next morning we were up at, you know, I had to be to the hospital at 7 to get treatment. So it really, there were quick turnarounds. You have appointments throughout the day. It is really grueling. It really kind of takes a toll out of you.
Hey, Grant says there's pike and brook trout here.
oh yeah.
Let's go get them.
There's one right there. There's one right there. He's right there. He's right there. He's right there. Look at him.
I saw him chase for 20 feet. He just kept right behind the tail. There's one. There's one.
He was right there.
He was. That was sweet. That was just worth it right there, just to watch that. Oh, beautiful. Well, that one there, I could feel he had the jig, but I could tell he had the back, just the paddle. Like you could see it, like the whole front of the jig was still out of his mouth. So cool. Beautiful fish. I mean, to be able to see it through that and just see every color on him, spectacular.
My dream was always to catch a big brook trout. And, you know, big in my terms would have been, you know, 14, 15 inches. And Grant chuckles a little bit under his breath and he goes, well, we'll get you on something big. We'll get you an opportunity. And we did more than get an opportunity. We hooked into an absolute beauty. It was a trip of a lifetime with a fish of a lifetime.
Oh, this is the biggest brook trout of my life right here. Look at how beautiful that thing is.
Oh my goodness, look at this, Brian.
Look at him. Oh, baby. He's not excited. Oh my gosh, look at this fish. Look at this fish. Oh my gosh. All right, Timon. All you, brother. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Oh my God. Woo.
Look at the size of this fish.
Look at this fish.
That is a brook trout.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Look at the colors on this thing.
I wasn't even sure if this was a brook trout when I first hooked into it. This thing is huge. Huge. Look at the colors.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my. Oh, thank you, Lord, for this. What a gift. What an absolute gift.
Look at this thing.
Oh.
And the brook trout that I ended up hooking into on day 2 was something that very little fish have given me the emotion that fish did. But a brook trout that was that special on a trip with 2 guys that I really appreciate so much in my life. I remember getting pretty emotional at that point in time after I had that fish in the boat, and I had missed some opportunities earlier in the day. It was incredible. That fish was the fish of the trip for me, for sure. And that's saying a lot, because we caught some absolutely beautiful lake trout and beautiful pike, and saw some amazing bodies of water. And that brook trout was my fish. It was incredible.
Look at that fish. Look at that fish. Oh, how unreal is that, eh?
Oh, this makes, we caught giants on this trip, and this fish just, it's unbelievable. I never thought I'd catch a brook trout like this. I'm speechless, and I'm supposed to be saying something. Thank you guys so much. This is unreal.
Magical, man.
I missed a few earlier, and this is unreal. Oh my gosh. Oh guys, fish of a lifetime right here. Just spectacular. The colors, just absolute beauty of this fish.
I just remember we scooted across the way to this one spot, and I made a horrible cast at the time. I was kind of like, well, that was why even bother? And I was about ready to rip it back in, and this fish came right out of the dark and just smoked it. And I just remember going, guys, big fish, big fish. And I don't say that very often, because I just don't catch big fish, but boy, was this brook trout big. It was 24 inches. It was absolutely beautiful. If I could say that it's probably been the favorite fish of mine in the last 10 years that I've caught, would be an understatement. It was incredible. Just to experience that, to see the bite, to see it come out of the darkness, and just all its colors, its vibrant colors, and really just get to see that. That'll be a picture that's burned in my mind forever.
Growing up, some of my most vivid and some of my best memories are with Dad in the boat. Growing up fishing on Island Lake, just north of town here, 3, 4, 5, 6 days a week. Fishing opener, Canadian fishing trips with Dad, with Grandpa, with them both in the boat, and it's so cool to reflect on those memories. And that's kind of where the whole passion, where everything started from, where it all stemmed from, right, is from those days in the boat. And I was 4, 5, 6, 15, 20 years old, right? That's where it really all began.
Has something here, we don't know what yet. Fighting like a walleye. Looks like a nice fish. Looks like a real nice fish. Look at that pole. Might take my dollar away from me here. Grant swoops it up. Nice fish. That's real similar to mine, it looks like. Maybe a little bigger. Mine was bigger. I like that. I think so too. I like it when mine's a little bigger than yours and Papa's, because then I get the money. Hold them up here, Dad. You can't hear me. Nice fish. Good one. Nice. Okay, go blow up. Yeah, it's what, 24 probably? Probably 24. Yeah, it's not as big as mine, but that's a nice fish. Nice fish. Those are fun to catch. So now Papa has 8, tied with Grant. 10-8-8. Well, I just got back to fishing and Papa just set the hook on a nice one. Here's Grant bringing one in. Papa's got another nice one on. He's got a good one on here. This one's bigger than his last one. Isn't it, Dad? Must be. Well, there he is, Grant. I don't know, I just saw a flash of him. Oh, nice one. Same one. Nice fish.
When I was done with my treatment, I wanted to just travel as much as possible, fish as much as possible, spend my time with friends and family as much as possible. You gain this other sense that I think nobody else has, where I could just float in the water in the summertime and just enjoy being there. Enjoy hanging out with your friends. You don't have to do anything, you just hang out. Put your phones down and hang out. It's easy, and it's so much more fun. Yeah. The value of your time and where you spend it and prioritizing that, for sure, I think is the most important thing, and what I think I learned the most. Here, I got something fun to say that that you can put in the back. Like earlier when I was talking about my cancer treatment, because I remember this and it was a big deal to me. So when I was in the middle of my cancer treatment, I think it was in the middle of my cancer treatment, it was either 2014 or 2015, my birthday wish was to make it to another birthday. And there were serious doubts that could happen. And my next birthday, we sat in chairs around a lake and toasted to making it into another birthday. And I thought that was one of the better moments in my treatment. And I knew everything was going to be okay after that when I was toasting to make another birthday.
When we were planning out this event, I was trying to think of a theme or kind of a motto for it, and the song "So Alive" just hit home perfectly, right? I mean, it's especially with the lyrics, right? The lyrics, "You're never gonna live if you're too scared to die." I mean, it's just, it couldn't fit any better for how I really approach life and how I need to, continue to strive to approach life, is that, you're never gonna live if you're too scared to die. To me that means go out, experience things, do things that you don't think you can do. Push yourself. Do it where you can. It's all things that, I need to strive, maybe all of us, or, especially me, I need to strive to do more, to do it while you can, do it while you're healthy, do it while you're young, because time goes by so fast. And then the soul alive part, right? You're out on the water, with a cancer patient who, in the past we've done trips with terminal cancer patients, right? That they're not going to be on this earth in a month, 2 months, right? They know that. I could not be on this earth in a month or two, but I just don't know that, right? But with these patients, you do know that. And when you're out there fishing, when you're out on Lake Superior, no one thinks about that, right? It's not even a thought. like the smiles on your faces, the memories you make, the sights, the sounds, the experiences, right? It's so alive. It's as far away from death as you could possibly be. And that's like the best part about it. And that's why, we're kind of settled on the motto or kind of the theme of so alive, because it makes you feel so alive.
Oh, big pike. We just hooked up, you guys. Just hooked up with a beaut.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, look at that pike. Look at that pike, you guys.
What just happened here? Look at this thing.
We go from catching brook trout to pike like that.
Oh my
The
goodness.
head
Look
on
at
him.
that.
Oh, boys.
Fish for real? Did that just happen?
That's a big pike.
He torched that thing. I watched him eat it too. I know. Oh, you don't fist bump those fish. Oh my goodness.
So here we are, the winter of 2024. I'm glad to report that Dr. Davis has given me the 50-year guarantee. He said I'm officially cancer-free at this point in time, that everything is going exactly the way it should go and exactly how he expected. So when you get another restart like that, a fresh new perspective on life, there's endless possibilities. And it's one of those things that I just absolutely am looking forward to see what is next for Jen and myself and our kids. And I'm looking forward to getting on the water this summer and really getting after it with the kids.